Today I'm going to show you how to do a basic mix. I'm not going to go all the way to the end. We're going to keep it pretty basic, but this is going to be very helpful. Stay tuned. All right, so let's do a little bit of organization. We have the beat here. Let's give that a nice little color so we can differentiate it. And the rest is our vocals. Let's go Shift Select, hold down Shift Option, go to the last track in the group here, go to New Track, and let's send this to a stereo aux and call it Vox Mix. That way we can do group processing, mute it, solo it, pretty much everything you need to do besides edit and record audio on it. Wonderful. All right, we're going to route that to our 2-mix. Now, a great reason to have a 2-mix, by the way, is so that when you bring in a reference song, it's not going to run through your mastering processing. So I'll explain that real quick. Let's bring in a reference song. Let's give that a different color. Okay, we're going to turn this down a decent bit so it's the same volume as our mix. And then now we can solo and mute that and not destroy it by running through our mastering processing. So what I mean is, if I want to master this mix, I can put it on my 2-mix aux and not the master fader, because then when I route my reference mix through it, I don't want to run it through the same processing I'm applying to my mix and therefore degrade it. Okay, so now
put me on the pill, son. You should know the deal. Only draft guards around here. Belichick.
I can do Shift, S and M at the same time, switch back and forth, and it's great. Obviously, Adapter Metric AB is a great plugin for this, but if you don't have it, this is very easy and it'll work. All right, awesome. Let's keep going. So now let's do a little bit of EQ work. All right, so on the Vox aux, we're gonna bring up the FabFilter Pro Q3. And I'm really gonna try to listen to the sound before I do anything. I wanna do this with intention, so I wanna listen to it first.
Get this shit, coming down with it so sick, dog. That's how I feel. Wasn't fucking with me back then.
Okay, the vocals feel kind of boomy, kind of muddy, lacking clarity. Let's do something crazy and take a big shelf and sort of just get rid of a lot of that unflattering quality.
Get this shit, coming down.
Let's turn on the auto gain to keep it kind of consistent.
Get this shit, coming down with it so sick, dog. That's how I feel. Wasn't fucking with me back then. Now they try and put me on the pill, son. You should know the.
Let's do a little dynamic EQ up here on the sibilants. The reason we're going to do dynamic for the sibilants is because it's not always an issue. So with the static cut, I'm just changing the overall tone. I'm really reshaping the vocal. But for a dynamic cut, that's something you want to use when it's something that's bothering you only every so often. So the sibilant is not constant, but it is bothering me. So a dynamic cut is going to be great for that application.
Get this shit, coming down with it so sick, dog. That's how I feel. Wasn't fucking with me back then. Now they try and put me on the pill, son. You should know the deal. Only draft guards around here. Belichick's all gone clear, man. Why we for the bill? Hand off, going downfield.
Awesome. And then we can do a little low cut, get rid of any noise below there, maybe like 80. And for subtractive EQ, that might be it. I'm just gonna use this FabFilter Pro Q3, a nice digital EQ, to do my subtractive cleanup. Awesome, we're opening up the vocal, getting some clarity. That's not so bad, I like that. All right, now with our additive EQ, let's add some character and some vibe. I love the API 550B for this. Let's do a nice little high shelf and a low shelf.
Get this shit, coming down with it so sick, dog. That's how I feel. Wasn't fucking with me back then. Now they try and put me on the pill, son.
Notice that I'm turning my output down. I'm trying to keep the level even and matched. That's very important. Otherwise, you're going to be fooled by loudness and you're not mixing.
Get this shit, coming down with it so sick, dog. That's how I feel. Wasn't fucking with me back then. Now they try and put me on the pill.
Okay, you'll notice we still have aggressive sibilants. So let's just use a very simple de-esser, which is just a frequency-specific compressor, nothing crazy.
Get this shit, coming down with it so sick, dog. That's how I feel. Wasn't fucking with me back then. Now they try and put me on the pill, son. You should know the deal.
Awesome. So we don't want to overdo that. We don't want to give our singer a lisp or anything like that, but just every so often to tame that harsh high end, that's going to work great. All right, now let's do a little bit of serial compression. We're going to use 2 compressors in tandem to make the workload more even, okay? So first I'm going to use an 1176. I'm going to use the blue flavor, has a more vintage gritty vibe. Going to make the release very fast, tack very slow, and let's see how we do.
Get this shit, coming down with it so sick, dog. That's how I feel. Wasn't fucking with me back then. Now they try and put me on the pill, son. You should know the deal. Only draft guards around here. Belichick's all gone clear, man. Why we for the bill? Hand off, going downfield. How you think we...
So notice with the 1176, which is a FET FET compressor, I'm just using it to tame the peaks. It's very lightning fast. It has an aggressive, colorful tone, and this is going to be great just to tame those initial peaks. Then I'm going to follow it with an LA2A style, the CLA2A, which is really great for heavy opto compression to just gel it in.
get this shit. Coming down with it so sick, dog, that's how I feel. Wasn't fucking with me back then. Now they try and put me on the pill, son. You should know the deal. Only draft guards round here. Belichick so gon' clear, man. Walk me for the bill. Hand off, going downfield.
Nice. I'm liking that. You can be pretty aggressive with this compressor. Opto is smooth. You know, it's a very, very beautiful thing for vocals, bass, all that stuff. So I love this technique. You know, 1176 until an LA2A works very well. Wonderful. Now let's add a multiband compressor. And don't get too scared about this. You know, all we're basically doing here is splitting up our compressors into different frequency bands where we can do, you know, gain, boosts, or cuts like an EQ, the range, how much you want to attenuate, and the attack and release settings. So just for the basic controls of a compressor, the attack time is how fast the signal is going to be attenuated after it crosses the threshold. The release is how long it's going to take to return to the point of unattenuation. That's basically it in a nutshell. So let's give this a shot.
Get this shit coming down.
So you notice there's a crossover band, so you can sort of split these up how you want.
Wasn't fucking with me back then. Now they try and put me on the pill, son. You know the deal. Only draft guards round here. Belichick so gon' clear, man. Waiting for the bill. Hand off, going downfield. How you think we got this?
And what's really nice is you can control a certain frequency region, but then boost and add up that makeup gain, which is really, really nice. All right. So that's going to give me very good control, but it's also going to give me some total sculpting capability, which is nice.
Get this shit. With me back then. Now they try and put me on the pill, son. You should know the deal. Only draft guards round here. Belichick so gon' clear, man. Walk me for the bill. Hand off, going downfield. How you think we got this tip? On my city on the hill.
And you can see that kind of just makes it pop out. It's a very, very nice thing. Vocals being such an inconsistent thing, a multiband is really going to lock it in there. And then basically the behavior, you know, electro is more modern, a little bit more snappy, opto smoother. The knee is just the onset of the compression. So knee is basically like as soon as it hits the threshold, is it going to be a soft knee, like ease into the compression, or a hard knee, kind of snap into it. They have different flavors, but you don't have to worry about them too much. And then an auto release control allows you to basically have the release just be automatic or manual if you want. All right, and then we have a makeup gain here. We can add a little bit back if we need, but that sounded really good to me.
Get this shit coming down with it so sick, dog. That's how I feel. Wasn't fucking with me back then. Now they try and put me on the pill, son. You should know the deal. Only draft.
Awesome. That's sounding really, really good. Okay, let's add a little bit of reverb now. So we're gonna go here on the sends in Pro Tools. Okay, a send is just sending a duplicate signal somewhere else. All right, we're gonna go to new track to make this quick. Use a stereo aux, we call it verb. All right, wonderful. Let's add just a basic deverb for now. Make sure the effect is 100% wet, okay? Because you're gonna control how much level it's going to it with your send here.
On the hill, going up to get this shit. Coming down with it so sick, dog. That's how I feel. Wasn't fucking with me back then.
And the great advantage to doing it this way is it doesn't have to eat up your CPU resources, so you don't have to put reverb in multiple tracks. You can send whatever you want there, and you can EQ it, you can compress it, distort it, whatever you want. So as you can see right here, got a low cut and high cut on the reverb to clean it up. Absolutely wonderful. All right, we're gonna do the same send with the delay now, but instead of having it echo the whole time, I'm just gonna go to the Vox mix here, go to the delay and use the level send to just do it on the last part.
Going downfield.
So I'm gonna go command click, and drag that up.
How you think we got this tip? On my city on the hill. 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 My city.
Awesome. If you want to do some volume automation, very easy to do that. You can just click here, go to volume, or do the minus key. And all you do is go command click, click and drag, option to remove.
City on the hill, going up to get this shit. Coming down with it so sick.
You can tell the volume's going louder. So if you need a little bit of extra touches, volume automation is a great way to do that. So let's check out our whole mix where we're at now.
City on the hill, going up to get this shit. Coming down with it so sick, dog. That's how I feel. Wasn't fucking with me back then. Now they try and put me on the pill, son. You should know the deal.
Sounds pretty good. It's nowhere near perfect, but there's more work to be done as always. Hopefully this will help you get started with a basic mix. Take care, everybody.